Now, it's interesting that you said that you're not concerned one way or the other. You'll take either person as mayor.
Mm-hmm.
They're very different. Yes, some folks on the outside will say they're the same. Maybe Mr. Alexander will say they're the same. But one comes with Ree, who is supposedly the great school reformer, and one probably won't come with Ree, and we don't know what he would come with. But what about our schools? How are you going to approach, and what's going on with schools in Ward 6 right now?
Well, I think Ward 6 schools are transitioning okay.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest hurdle that I think that we have to overcome is trying to find a good middle school option. Right now, our elementary schools are probably some of the best in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Our middle schools are not as good and require.
When you said our elementary schools are some of the best.
I'm sorry. Our middle schools are not as good as they ought to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so when parents are looking for that next tier option, there's a concern about whether or not the middle school that they're assigned to or that's available to them in the ward is as of the quality as the middle schools were.
Okay. Are you familiar with the budgets, by the way?
That was a challenge that I had.
You had that in the Williams administration or as an ANC chair?
No, as a parent. That
Okay.
was a
Okay.
challenge. That was
Mm-hmm.
a challenge that as a parent we had.
Mm-hmm.
And the choice that we made was to go to a private school option.
Okay.
We didn't, I tell everybody all the time that, I make no apologies for going to that, private option
Mm-hmm.
because as a parent I don't have a do-over. I have one opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to provide the best opportunity I can for my children. And the year that we were to transition to that middle school, they installed metal detectors, and I didn't think that was the right idea.
Mm-hmm.
In the right kind of environment that I wanted to have for my kids. Now, every parent doesn't have that option. We were fortunate, and we should not then relegate parents to the only option that's available to them, where they have to send their children to school with metal detectors installed mm-hmm. at the door.
Mm-hmm.
And so we ought to be providing, that's why I support a three-sector approach. I support traditional public schools and the reform of those, creating magnet opportunities within those traditional public schools. I support charter schools. Mm-hmm. I support vouchers and opportunity scholarships, because I think that anytime that you provide robust options for parents, that then gives them an opportunity to choose which is best for their kids. Mm-hmm. And we fought hard to get $13 million for each of those options from the federal government. New money gave kids and parents hope that they could find quality educational options for their kids, and they did not have to be relegated to a failing school or to a system that was not providing the kind of educational opportunity that they ought to have.
Mm-hmm. We're seeing more Hispanics
mm-hmm.
In D.C. in general. Do you relate to the Hispanic community at all? I mean,
you're part of the community, so
mm-hmm.
we all relate.
Okay, so how would there be an approach that you would take? And I assume that you're not. Do you speak Spanish at all?
Un poquito.
Okay. Would you bring in someone in your cabinet who does speak Spanish? That could be good.
Absolutely. I mean,
okay.
I think that part of what we have to do is, always provide opportunities for folks to have access.
Mm-hmm.
And to the extent that means we have to bring other folk in who speak various language or provide language access, we ought to do that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're willing to do that, obviously. Sure. That's an important part of
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, do you have any idea what the general percentage of Spanish-speaking Latino people are in Ward 6?
No, but it's fairly small. I mean, the last numbers, I cannot remember off the top of my head what those numbers are, but it's a very small population.
Suffice to say, it's not as high as Ward 1, where Jim Graham is.
That's correct.
Okay. But if you were to become mayor, then you'd have to be more concerned about that.
Yeah, that's not the race I'm running for right now. So.
Okay. Well, you did say right now. Again, with the thing that I find, obviously articulate person and a person who's led an exemplary background and as a parent, and as a community leader, you've proven yourself, and you're a business person also.
Mhm.
And I was curious. I mean, the question is more of an obvious one, but why would you want to be a council member when you can run a successful business, make more money, not be under as much scrutiny, and travel probably just as much, and not have to put up with some of the headaches that you would have to as a council member? Why would you want to trade in your business capabilities to do this?
You know, I don't look at it that way. I mean, I look at it as, you know, when you've decided to invest in, bring your family to, and be part of a community, you can't just look at yourself. You have to look at all the factors around you and say, what is happening in this community that will either make or break the environment that you're in. There are a lot of people who do not have the ability or the resource or the opportunities that I've had. Does that mean that I should all hold them to myself, or should I be looking back and to the side and other places to try and bring people along so that they too might experience some of those things? I've been blessed. And I think that in order for other folk to enjoy some of the things I've enjoyed, I've got to do something in order to give something back. So it's not that important to me, you know, to be out making all the money. I need to make some, obviously, in order to keep doing what I'm doing. But I think it's important for us to kind of lift everybody in the boat. I really do.
Okay. Well, it sounds as though your heart is in the right place, and congratulations, you've identified your goals very clearly. I'm still not sure how Ward 6 would look differently from the way that it does now in terms of your approach to the physical aspect and then the services aspect.
Yeah. To me, it's not, I'm not trying to make Ward 6 look any different, but I am trying to get it to behave a little bit differently by allowing and encouraging, actively encouraging those various different communities to interact, to work together, to care about each other in a way that's different so that we all continue to move forward.
Okay. How do you plan to do that, though? Are you going to have more meetings or what?
Absolutely. I think that, again, the strategy that we had some time ago to create citizen summits and neighborhood discussions